If you're not listening to the Smoke World podcast, you're wasting your time, you mortal.
What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Smoke World. I'm your host, Stone. So go grab that stick, go grab a glass, whatever you're drinking. Let's sit back and have that conversation. You can follow me on Instagram at Smoke World Podcast. Email stone@smokeworldpodcast.com. And the website, smokeworldpodcast.com. Folks, this episode, I'm talking to one of our brother of the Leafs, John from Blue Hen Cigars. So, is it just me that maybe internally that little cigar guy or girl inside of you, you always wanted to make that cigar? Well, guess what, folks? John, he's the guy. He actually did it. He's going to talk a little about what he's doing, how he got started. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Brother John from Blue Hen Cigars, thank you for being a guest on Smoke World. What's good, brother?
Hey, how you doing, Stone? Thanks for having me here tonight.
Absolutely, my brother. So, again, as you may know or may not know, we actually kind of go through demographics. So we're trying to get an idea who we're talking to let the folks know exactly who we're dealing with. So where are you from, bro?
I'm from Southwest Philly. Grew up, born and raised.
Southwest Philly.
Yeah,
Whoa. Now, see, I used to work now in Southwest, so
All right.
I know about Southwest.
All right.
So tell me about Southwest. What part of Southwest you from? Because,
68th and Elmwood,
yeah, bro.
right in the hood,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a little gangster down there.
Yeah.
It's a little gangster, bro. So you grew up, that's where you grew up at?
Yep.
So
Yep.
all right, so we
Went to
got
John Bartram High,
Oh,
public
wow.
school, survived all that nonsense.
Yeah, so folks who don't know, bro, they not understanding what Southwest is all about. How would you describe your old neighborhood? Growing up in your time frame. In the 80s.
it was rough. It was rough growing up. It wasn't very. My neighborhood wasn't very diverse.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my school was.
Gotcha.
So,
Now,
yeah.
did you get in a lot of fights in school? Was that kind of...
No, I stayed clear pretty much. They probably thought I was crazy. You act crazy, they stay away from you.
Well, that was a smart tactic.
Mind my own business.
That was a smart tactic.
Yeah.
That was a smart tactic. All right, so my brother, how long have you been a lover of this leaf?
So I've been smoking cigars since 2005. Had my first cigar in Vegas, of all places.
Was you on vacation or something?
I
What
was-
was that whole scenario like?
I was
paint
there
a picture.
I was there for a convention. Never
Okay.
smoked a cigar before. Went into a Davidoff lounge. Wanted to try a cigar. Didn't have any clue what I was doing. The lady said, "Do you want it cut or punched?" And I didn't know what she meant by punched. So that's how green I was. You know what I mean?
Okay, so do you recall what did you go with?
It was a 2000 Davidoff 2000.
Okay.
So Connecticut, very mild,
Mm-hmm.
small ring gauge cigar. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Oh, so you did? Okay, so you kind of took it in. You took the environment in. You took the smoke in, and you enjoyed it.
Right. Of
So you didn't turn green. You didn't
No.
cough up a lung.
No.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And then from there, you kind of fell in love with it at that point, or you just thought at that moment, I'm in here in Vegas. I'm in the environment. I'm
I
kind of
did it-
relaxed, and I'm just kind of doing what people do down here.
I did it occasionally. I traveled a lot for work, and a couple of the other guys would have cigars after work. So I'd smoke cigars with them a little bit, learn a little bit more.
Okay.
So yeah, nice relaxing, after work, get a little drink, have a cigar.
That's what we tell people, because a lot of folks ask that question. They say, man, why do you guys or girls smoke cigars? And I tell them, life is rough. We all felt that life was treating us wrong. So this is a moment in time where you actually can sit back, relax, clear your head, and just do you
Right.
for about an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Exactly.
Just some me time.
Right.
Well,
Right.
that's if you're by yourself. But if you give the fellas or the ladies, it's a different experience.
Right.
So that's just my experience based on, and you know what I compare that to? I base that on when I used to ride motorcycles. And it was one of those kind of things, when you rode motorcycles, when you did it by yourself, it was okay. But when you had the group, it was a whole different experience. And I
Sure.
think that's how cigars
Sure.
That's the experience I have with cigars. You know,
Right.
again, by yourself, again, a moment in time, it's not bad. But you get with a group of folks, changes the dynamics.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So now we're going to get into Blue Hen Cigars. Now, folks, let me explain to you what John's doing. So John was like us, a guy who said, man, a guy or girl who enjoyed the leaf, enjoyed the smoke, but something clicked in his brain to say, you know what? I want to take this a little bit further. I want to understand this complexity. How do you make these cigars? So when did
Right.
that moment hit?
Right. So I took an early retirement in 2017, and shortly after that, took a job at a cigar lounge. Sitting in the lounge, looking at all the brands that are out there, I wanted to learn more than just the brands of cigars and the types of cigars. I wanted to be more fundamental, learn about how tobacco's grown, fermentation process, and how they're actually constructed and rolled. So that's what I wanted to learn. So I did a lot of reading, YouTube. I did all of that
Okay.
for a few years.
All right, so that experience, you took all that in, then you actually took it to the next level where
Right.
you actually went to a school
Right.
to learn how to actually roll cigars.
Sure. Yeah, I wanted to know if I could actually make a cigar. So I went online, I bought some whole leaf tobacco, a couple molds, a Chivetta, started to roll at home a little bit.
Okay, I got to stop you right there, if you don't mind, because you just used the word Chivetta. A lot of folks may not know exactly what that is who are listening to the podcast. So we got to educate our people. So what is the Chivetta?
Okay, it's a knife or something that looks like a pizza cutter to actually cut the leaf, to trim the leaf down.
And that's the thing, not to interrupt you, sorry, because again, I guarantee every cigar smoker has seen this particular device,
Right.
item, but never knew the name of it.
Okay.
So that's why I just wanted to kind of, again, paint the picture, because we don't have the video,
Okay.
to paint the picture of what we are calling the Chivetta. So folks, I'm sorry, proceed, sir.
Right. So I was rolling at home. The cigars weren't exactly the quality that I wanted. I wasn't getting any better. So I went online and I found a company that actually trained cigar rollers. So I took the time to go down to their little factory and learned and sat with the Cuban roller for 8 days. Learned how to roll cigars. Learned how to bunch the tobacco, put the binder, the wrapper, do the whole thing.
Interesting. Okay. In 8 days, you kind of well, here's the thing. I think you did say you was doing some stuff prior to at home.
Right. So I had some knowledge of bunching and how that all takes place and do all that. So I had some background.
Okay.
But in 8 days, I probably rolled between 250 cigars, around 250, maybe
Nice.
300. And they told me when I do 1,000, I'll actually be good. So, so when I came home from school, I just kept practicing, kept doing it. I did a few events. More people wanted me to do events. So I decided to start my own company.
Nice. Okay. So the first of all, the person who's listening to this, because again, I'm thinking it's somewhat of a passion of a lot of cigar smokers to kind of try that, to do that, at least experience that. Let's just start with you started at home. Where were you getting your tobacco? What were you using to, practice? Was this just like really practice tobacco, or really were you trying to smoke these cigars?
It was smokable. It was all grade A tobacco. There's two websites out there, Whole Leaf Tobacco and leafonly.com, and you can buy whole leaf tobacco by the pound. They also sell molds, glue. They sell the Chivettas.
Okay, so
You can get going once you get on their website.
So you can go online and kind of get a whole kit
Right,
to kind of start at home.
right.
Okay, so based on your experience, what would you recommend, or what was your learning curve that you can let folks know, say, hey, you know what I did, the mistake I was making in the beginning, this is what it is, so be careful, look out for this is what you don't want to do. If there is something such as that.
I don't think there really is. I think you actually have to just dive into it and start doing it. That's how you learn how to do it.
Let's go for it.
Just go for it. Start smoking the cigars. Now, cigars are better as they age, but just start smoking them. You'll learn if the draw is too tight or too loose. So you might be putting too much tobacco in that particular ring gauge.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting, because I'm thinking now for myself. I'm thinking out loud right now, folks. You got to forgive me. Okay, so you go and order a kit, and I'm not good at arts and crafts, so I kind of stayed in my lane. and it seems like that would be in the arena of arts and crafts.
It is.
Yeah, so that might not be too great because some of my cuts, I'll be cutting drywall out and doing stuff in class. I wasn't, the guy.
Yeah.
Who,
Yeah, you're probably not good at it. Right.
Oh, okay. Thanks, John.
Arts and crafts, yeah.
Yeah.
You need to be a little ambidextrous. You need to be able to roll left-handed and right-handed.
Well, I could do some other stuff left-handed. And right-handed.
I'm sure you can.
Don't that count for something, folks? I think it does. Mind your business. Mind your business. Okay, so you've been doing that now. How long have you been doing this, brother?
I started the company in 2019, right before COVID hit.
Right
So-
before COVID. Okay, so
Yeah.
how's that experience now? Since COVID kind of knocked a lot of things for a loop. Now, okay, let me ask
It
you.
enabled me to take things in a little bit of a slower pace.
Okay.
Is what it did. Learn as I go. Take things a little bit slower.
Now,
Yeah.
I believe now, again, folks, you can fact check me on this, but the cigar industry, well, let's not go there with the industry. Cigar smokers, I believe we smoked more cigars during the pandemic, which
Yeah.
we're still in,
Yeah.
than any time probably since we've been smoking in all reality because we had more time. We
Right.
sat home,
Right.
spouses, the kids, the dogs, everything was getting on your nerves.
Right. I agree, but the social market really slowed down. People weren't having weddings, anniversary parties, any kind of social event like that. COVID really knocked that down.
Okay, now are you able to sell your cigars to the consumers yet, or are you strictly kind of doing events only?
Strictly do events. Yeah.
Oh man, folks, I'm telling you, his cigar's a banger. I don't know why he's doing this only events fan page thing. I don't know. Is there a reason? I know there are a lot of regulations when it comes to tobacco here in the United States.
Yeah, there is, and I'm not ready to take it to that level yet.
Okay, is that the reason why? Is that the only reason why? Because it's just too many hoops to
Yeah,
jump.
the federal government. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but besides that,
If it wasn't for that, I'd be in it already.
okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. Makes sense, brother. It makes sense. So again, I know you have some social media platforms where folks are listening because I want to hit them right there where you said you do events. I don't want to wait to the end. We're going to do it at the end, but tell the folks where they can find you, what website. They're listening to this podcast and saying, yo, I think I might need that young fella to make some moves and roll me some cigars.
Right. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, you can find me, Blue Hen Cigar Rolling. Instagram, it's Blue Hen Torcedor.
Well, you might have to spell that. Everybody didn't go to college. You might have to spell that word, brother.
Torcedor. Torcedor actually means roller in Spanish.
Yeah, well, everybody didn't take Spanish.
Okay.
I did, but I didn't really pay attention. I just got enough to pass the class. Just want to let you know. You just kind of spit that off like everybody knew.
Yeah, so the name of the company is Blue Hen Torcedor.
Torcedor.
Right.
Okay. And that's one thing I had a conversation about. These cigar names. I don't know if it's me, but, again, I went to public school, and I don't know. I'm not faulting public schools, but the cigar names some of them are very, for me, difficult to pronounce. And that's, I guess, because they're coming from other countries.
Right.
So, do you have this problem, or maybe not? Maybe you're.
No, I still do, and there's a particular cigar called Amarillo. In Spanish, it's Amarillo. So some people correct me. I say it as Amarillo because they're not Spanish. They don't speak Spanish. I say Amarillo, but once in a while I'll get somebody that'll correct me.
Are you looking for a new platform to connect with other cigar smokers, consumers, lounges, and brands while escaping tobacco-related rules of other social media platforms? Then look no further. Stogie Lives, the new social media platform for cigar lovers created by a female. So come join Stogie Lives, STOGIELIVES.com, where every cigar lover has a place to connect.
Yes.
You always have that one guy.
And here's my fear, folks. I'm getting, you guys are listening. I talked about cigar reviews, coming up with the video. Now, the reason why this video idea has been delayed is because, in my opinion, it's literally a million people doing cigar reviews that you can see, cutting cigars, lighting cigars, talking about cigars. So I want it to be a little different. So I'm really getting a lot of thought on what I want to do here, so you guys got to bear with me. I promise it's coming. I already got the name for it. It's going to be Beyond the Smoke, and we're going to be doing things behind the scenes of all type of affairs, cigar lounges, news, whatever. It's going to be interesting, folks. Trust me. Just hang in there. Relax yourself. That's going to segue me to, I'm going to do a quick segue. Listen, the lounges, brother.
Right.
What has your experience been with the lounges? Let's talk about these lounges right now because, we got COVID, Omicron's knocking everybody out. You know what I mean? Giving the 10 count. What's your experience? Have you been at the lounge? Have you been kind of laid back?
Sure. I've been out at the lounges, and nobody's right on top of each other. So I don't see a problem with the pandemic right now as things stand. But yeah, I've been out to the lounges, and
so
things
seem pretty normal.
Getting back to normal. Yeah,
okay, getting back. Okay, because I kind of chilled out for a little bit. Just the fact that Omicron was like giving everybody a TKO.
Right.
And I said, I better chill right now. I don't want to be at the super spreader event.
Right. Yeah.
Smoking a cigar.
You don't know who's out there not getting the vaccine or.
Whoa! That's a fight, brother.
I know.
Whoa! Now you just brought up a whole fight. Who didn't get the vaccine? Who against the vaccine? My body, my right. Yeah. So I'm glad you said that because that does bring up a good point. Because I know some of the lounges are, not locally, but some of the lounges around the country are stating if you're not vaccinated, you can't come in this building.
Right.
What's your opinion on that? As a cigar smoker.
Every owner has the right to handle their business like they choose. But we get a lot of older folks in the lounge I go in, and, I don't want to be responsible maybe for getting those people sick, So that I did it for not only to protect myself, maybe more so to protect everybody else.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thought process when we talk about the vaccine. Of course, it protects you, but, protects your fellow neighbor, being responsible. But I know this is a whole big conversation because it's thousands of people who could be listening right now like, Stone, don't go there. Don't go there right now about this vaccine. So we're not going to go too deep. We wanted to touch on it. We wanted to know what's going on at your lounge. Are you guys smoking like normal or, the mask requirement? Because here in Delaware, there is a mask mandate that you must have your mask on. So obviously it's like the restaurants you have in New York. It's my opinion. All right, you take your mask off. You can't smoke with your mask on.
Right.
So just kind of looking pretty to walk in the door. After that, all balls are out.
Right.
Balls are on the table. Hairy balls, no hair, little balls, big balls. It's all on the table at that moment. So I don't know, bro. That's what I said. That's kind of slowed down with the whole concept of going to the lounge. And again, I'm blessed to be able to smoke in my home. And a lot of people can't do that.
Right.
So that makes a big difference.
And the times you've been at the lounge recently, there's very few people there.
That's correct.
Right.
The time I come in there like around lunchtime, so you got those folks, our cigar smokers who enjoy to come there for their work break. They on their computer. They don't want to be bothered. That's fine. Those individuals who kind of sit there and don't socialize. I think we all have those individuals at our lounge. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think, they sometimes seem to be a little different. That's what I'm saying. Just a little different. And then you work at the cigar lounge.
Right.
What's your experience with these individuals? What's the deal with... Let's get into that, folks. Again, we have the conversation, people. Because we all got special people at our lounges. Whether they be the nice older guy or the weirdo, the one who's grabbing jokers by this. We all got them. So what's your experience? Now, you work there, so now as a patron.
So I mostly work during the day, and I love that.
So you don't get the weirdos.
I stay clear of all that usually, right? If I go in, if I want a party atmosphere, I'll go in on my off time to enjoy that. I can leave when I want, stay away from certain people if I want. But when I'm working there, it's hospitality. I have to be nice to everybody, hospitable, and it's like being a bartender. You're there to listen to people's problems, and pick a cigar for them, and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So a lot of just button up my lips and not say too much.
Now, that's fine. You're not saying too much, but I know you have seen a lot because you worked in multiple lounges. So I know you have some experiences, and you know what I'm talking about when we say we have those individuals in all of our lounges where, you got, a special guy, special girl. That's something to say, folks. You know who they are.
They're
folks.
people too. We treat
Absolutely.
everybody the same.
No, we don't. John's lying. John, stop it. That's lies right there from the pit of hell. John is lying to you right now on the podcast. I don't know why, but he's telling you a lie. He knows that's not true.
No.
Now, that may be the mindset that we have going in, but depends on our day if we're going to be tolerating any BS that day.
We do tolerate. I do tolerate some bullshit.
Absolutely. You got no choice.
That's part of working with the public.
Yes.
Right.
Public relations.
And I get to go home at the end of the night. I don't live with the person, so
you're good.
Yeah.
So you're good. All right, now back on the lounge. I'm getting some feedback, from some of the listeners and some of the folks I smoke with on lounge atmospheres as far as what takes place in the lounges. Some lounges strictly just do some background music.
Right.
We got some who don't play no music. You got the sports, got the TV on, watching some sports channel. But then you have other ones who do a lot of parties, and there's, I guess, some mixed feelings on that. And I'm curious to get your opinion.
Well, the good thing is there's a lot of lounges. You have a choice of lounges to go to. Some people will go to one lounge because it's quiet. They can sit and enjoy a cigar, something to drink. They don't want to listen to loud music.
Mm-hmm.
But when they want to go out on Friday night, they'll go to a lounge that has a DJ, and it's a little bit more like a party vibe.
Do you have a preference? Or depend? You work by mood?
It depends on my mood.
Okay.
Right. On a weekend, if I want to go out to a lounge that has a DJ and people are dancing, that's fine. But I have to be in that mood.
Gotcha. So, okay. And I think that's mostly what the consumer would say based on their mood. And like I said, I can understand it. As a business owner, and you're the cigar owner, you have to do what you have to do to generate that revenue. So I can respect that. But, these are member lounges. And I'm not saying the member has, to tell you what to do. And that's another issue. That's another fight.
Right.
That members feel as though now they think it's the credit union.
Right.
They run the bank.
Right.
Listen, your ideas and your thoughts, we respect them.
Sure.
But you don't get to tell the owners really how to run their business.
Right. It's not a VFW. There's no board. Right. It's strictly up to whoever owns the place, how they want to run it.
Yeah, because I'm getting a lot of slack where these members are kind of dictating what's going to happen at the lounge.
Right.
And I think, folks, you need to kind of slow that down just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Respectfully understand your position. You want to see some different things. That's respectful. That's great. But you can't tell people if you're not paying the rent in the sense of, and they're going to tell you, see, this is what the member's going to say. Hey, I pay you every year. I come here and buy cigars every day or every other day. So that's going to be a whole fight.
Right.
What do you tell those people? What do you tell those individuals who have that thought process?
It's a private business. If you don't like the way things are working here, then you just go to another lounge that maybe you'll be happier at. But the owner of the lounge has to really look at the clientele that come in there and try to gear towards those people a little bit. You can't have 2 people or 3 people try to dictate what you're going to do all the time.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm glad you mentioned like 2 or 3 people because, again, it's not the group.
Right.
It's just a few. And that's around, again, this is around the country. This is no particular place. This is around the country because I had the ability at one point to visit a lot of lounges around the country and sit down and conversate with these lounge owners. And this is a common theme.
Right.
That's, sometimes they have those members who want to dictate what goes on at the lounge.
Right. And if there's an event going on that you're not particularly happy with because the music's loud, or go to another lounge that night. Because there's no lounge that is like that all the time.
Right.
Right.
And like I said, as an owner, I'm not the owner, but I'm speaking as the owner. Again, there are different things for different folks. You have a diverse group of people who
Right.
come to the lounges.
Right.
So again, you're trying to meet all those demands the best you can and keep all your members happy, excited about coming to the lounge to smoke there. So folks, relax yourself. It's not that deep. Trust me, it's only one night, maybe it's a week, whatever it may be. Relax, enjoy. Again, we're doing the same thing, folks. We're doing the same thing. We all love this leaf. The network, the people that you meet by smoking cigars, I tell people every day, it is amazing.
Yes, it is.
Amazing, the people that you meet. So what are you smoking on tonight, brother? What's that you got?
Ashton VSG.
Oh, he's smoking big stuff, folks. Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, I can't talk smack. Let me confess. I'm smoking the Perdomo. Okay, now let me say this. I'm gonna whisper this because people who know Smoke World, I have a certain budget. Mind your business, respectfully. Mind your business. So he brought me. I'm gonna whisper. He brought me the Perdomo Estate. Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of this. It's gonna be posted. Yo, this is a good smoke, folks. The Perdomo Estate. Okay? You be like, Stone, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, look it up. Google. And he brung some libations. What we drinking on tonight, brother? We got some Uncle Nearest. Wow. Folks, if you're not familiar with Uncle Nearest, they actually blessed me with being a guest a few episodes ago.
Right,
I sat
right.
down, had a conversation. It's a whole interesting story with the Uncle Nearest story.
It is.
So definitely check that out. Again, a nice small batch whiskey. Great 1884. Good stuff. We're smoking, we're drinking, having a good time, talking to you, and conversating. Brother, like I said, I want you to let the folks know again what you got going on. I know you got to pull your phone out. This is what happens when we get a little senior, bro. You know, we don't know our stuff off social media offhand. It's like our phone numbers. Once you get to a certain age, you don't know your phone number. I don't know why that is. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is, I don't call myself. But when you get to a certain age, you don't know your phone number, social medias, you don't know what that is anymore, computers. The phone is too technological, challenging to you. So, right. Brother John, give the folks your social media so they can look you up, because I know one day I'm gonna spend the money for you, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna get you these regulations.
I'll do it.
I'm gonna get you where you need to be.
I'll do it. So they can find me on Facebook at Blue Hen Cigar Rolling. Instagram, it's Blue Hen Torcedor, one word. The website is bluehentorcedor.com. From the website, they can find my phone number, email me through there, find links to my social media through there. They can contact me if they have an event coming up. I'll be happy to send them information on having an event.
That's what's up. Now, my brother, now, is there anything that maybe I didn't cover that you wanted the folks to know before we say thanks for coming out, God bless and good night 'em?
And I think we did it pretty good, actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
felt good? Nothing,
Sure.
Nothing for the folks to know? Nothing breaking news, nothing exciting? You got your vaccine, so you're good. Anti-vaxxers, hey, don't send me no emails.
That's right.
Stop it. Stop it. I respect what you're doing. I'm not down with the mandate. I can respect, hey, that's your decision. But I'm just saying, who's in the hospital the most? I'm just saying, I know I'm going to start a fight, but respectfully, research. Well, my brother, listen, man, I appreciate you being a guest on Smoke World. Again, folks, there you have it. Another episode of Smoke World is in the books. You can follow me on Instagram at Smoke World Podcast. Email. Now send the emails. Anti-vaxxers, don't get gangster. Stone at smokeworldpodcast.com and the website that I talk about every time. I'm tired of talking about this website. And I know you hear me. You're going back and forth saying, Stone, who cares? Well, fine. Mind your business. smokeworldpodcast.com. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And yes, I know I told you this before. The videos are coming. You probably saying, Stone, you're full of beep. I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. I got you. Folks, appreciate you listening, and I will check you out on the other side. Peace.